Hey guys, Chris and Brian here from West Bend Dyno. This is Shop Talk 12. Kind of got a new studio that we're working in. Hope you guys like it. So we'll be going over a couple events and some of the projects we have going on in the shop. First, we're going to touch on some of the events. We're going to go over the street drags this coming summer, June 23rd, July 7th, and August 18th. They're all Tuesdays, same time. But we do have some new rules and revisions, right?
Yeah, there's some new stuff going on. We're going to have a class that allows slicks, and the car show is going to be moving over to the opposite side, so to where we're set up by Winter Circle and the pits and everything. So that should be pretty interesting, something new and exciting, and there's still some other stuff that's still kind of on the back burner, so hopefully we'll have more for you here in the next episode.
Yeah, so we're going to run a slick, what we call an outlaw class or whatever that has the slicks. Name's not determined yet, but every other vehicle is going to be a street legal car. But this is just a new feature that we added because we've seen the need for people wanting to run that.
Yep.
So.
Next up, we've got the Greater Milwaukee Auto Show. That's coming up in May. It's May 14th through the 17th at State Fair Park, so it's something different. One of the things that we've been doing there for the last 11 plus years is doing a live supercharger install. I oversee the students from the MATC's automotive program, do the install live at the show. Prior to that, we baseline the vehicle, get everything installed. Brian installs the calibration at the show so we can bring the vehicle back, and then we run it on the dyno and give everyone their results. So with that being said, we are looking for potential customers that would like a supercharger installed on their vehicle. As of right now, we don't have any particular platform picked out that we want, but we're looking for ideas for options for someone interested. We do offer a discount. What that is depends upon the platform, but it's something that if you're interested in it, please reach out to us and let us know what you've got, and if you're interested.
Yeah, last year we did my buddy's 24 GMC Sierra at the show with a 6.2, made like 160 wheel horsepower gains from stock with a Magnuson 2650. So,
yeah. And that install went very well.
Yeah.
The students did very well. We actually worked with them, with MATC and some of the West Bend automotive students, so it was pretty cool.
Next event we're going to go over is the Cars and Coffee event at Throttle Stop. We're going to help them out. We're one of the sponsors, and it's going to be Saturday, June 13th, July 11th, August 8th, September 12th, all from 8 to 11 a.m. We'll post something. We posted that before, some pictures of that. The next thing we're doing with Throttle Stop is they're going to have their open house on Saturday, July 18th from 4 to 7 p.m. And I think that's it for there's one more event, right?
Yeah, well, right now we're still talking about our dyno challenge.
Yep.
So we want to do a drag race on the two
on
dynos.
Our dynos, yep. A safe, controlled environment. Even though weather's not great and the roads aren't great, we can still do simulated quarter-mile runs, and you can be two random people, or it can be two friends who want to talk a little bit to each other.
Yep.
That's it for the events, right? I think.
Yeah, that's all we've got for events right now.
We still have a couple promos going on. $500 off, up to $500 off Toyota Stage 2 truck packages, typically supercharger installs on the Toyota platforms, which have been very popular as of late. We've been doing quite a few of them, and it works out pretty well on those trucks.
Yeah. So going through some of the projects that we've got going on in the shop right now and that are going to be coming up. First off, we've got a 2025 Last Call Final Edition Jeep Wrangler 392. It's getting a Whipple 3-liter supercharger installed on it. We've got the supercharger installed. We're just waiting on the calibration back from Whipple. So that should be a fun vehicle when it's all done.
Yeah, that thing was a handful, even the baseline. It's full-time 4-wheel drive and big tires, and it was a handful.
Yeah. Next up, we have a 2011 ZR1. That came to us. He was having some issues with the clutch. Slave cylinder was leaking, so they discontinued making that clutch. So we had decided to go with a Mantic. It's got better holding power than the factory clutch, and it feels just like a factory clutch. I mean, He's going to love it. We have had nothing but great luck with the Mantics so far. You're welcome, Jeff.
Yeah. At most, it's maybe a 10% or so stiffer feel than a factory.
Right.
At most.
But you're not going to get that shaking leg from sitting in traffic.
Yeah. Next one on the list is a 28 Mustang GT that had a Roush supercharger on it. Customer was driving it at Was it Automotion? Is that what
Yeah.
it was? And apparently it overheated or had some issues
Had
with
some
it.
issues, and the motor ended up getting fried.
Yep. So another shop installed an illuminator engine.
Yeah, they actually had it done at a dealership, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what the story is.
So they brought it to us to make sure the tune was good, make sure everything's working properly. So I did some pre-dyno inspections on it. Everything looked really good, except the intercooler pump wasn't running, which is pretty important.
Very important.
So we found that I found that the relay itself was actually melted. It smelled like electronics in it, and it was actually just melted inside. Called Roush, asked them if there was a specific relay or not, and we actually had one here. And then they said that there was a revised instructions in their instruction sheet where they would move that relay out of the location of the exhaust manifold heat area. So I moved that up to basically by the fuse block. Now the intercooler ran, which I don't know how you put an engine and don't check the intercooler pump.
Right.
As whatever. But got it up and running, made really good power. Everything was good there. So that's on it's delivered.
And one thing that we added to it, which your suggestion, was adding that Banks Pro iDash.
Yep.
Little gauge setup so they could actually monitor intake air temps and other things as well. That way, if anything ever happened again, at least they'd see intake air temps getting...
And we've been using that iDash from Banks a lot recently. It's a CAN bus gauge, so there's no redundant wiring or senders or anything that's going to get damaged or you have to run through a firewall. So if the factory ECU has that data on the data bus, we can tap into it. So things like fuel pressure, knock, retard, intake air temps, we can set up alarms specifically on that one. So if intake air temps started to creep back up again, at least they had a visual warning on it that something was going to happen. But it's been a really cool product to add and cuts the labor time down quite a bit without having redundancies.
Yep. Another one that we had come in, a 95 Corvette. We ended up doing a Pro Charger install on that one. One thing to add, and you can kind of elaborate on this, Brian, there really is not tuning for these cars per se. You're not making any adjustments other than the fuel pressure, right?
Yeah, those have what they call an FMU, fuel management unit, that for all intents and purposes raises or lowers fuel pressure based on boost. So there's a little knob on the side of the FMU, and basically all you can do for tuning is dialing in that FMU to get fuel pressure correct and get the right air-fuel ratio out of the tailpipe. That's pretty much all you can do on that car. But
one thing, though, that the customer is thinking about doing is switching to a torque head conversion down the road. That would give you the capability of tuning it and dialing everything in. So that one...
Get rid of the OptiSpark,
yes,
which is extremely problematic on those cars. So we can basically switch over to an LS operating system, use like a 4th gen Camaro Firebird computer, LS coil packs, get rid of the OptiSpark, and then we can actually tune that thing and have a lot better results.
Yep. Next up, we've got a 68 Javelin here. This customer has been doing work with us for quite a few years now, and he decided he wanted to have a backup camera installed. So we set up a backup camera and actually used Dakota Digital screen, another dash setup on the middle of his dash, and have everything piped in there so he can be monitoring all of his vitals, not only on the dash, but on the screen, as well as getting his backup camera display on there. It's a pretty neat add-on, and it's a nice, clean install. I think Logan did a really good job on it. I think our customer's going to be very happy.
Yeah, it adds a much larger screen than the Holley little 3.5-inch screen. If you don't want to upgrade to the 6.86 or the 12.3, that is another option where it's an 8-inch screen on that one, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
But you can monitor all the data that the Holley has on the bus and then have a backup camera if you want to.
Yeah.
Next one that we have on the list is an 87 Grand National. That one, it was here for tuning. We did a whole bunch of other work to it, brakes.
Yeah, it ended up actually it ate the turbo. That's why.
Well, originally, that's why it came in, yeah. So we put a turbo on it. You're right. We put a turbo on it, a larger intercooler. We did a bare brake upgrade.
Yeah.
Got it on the dyno for tuning, the old chip burn deal, and it wasn't making any more than 10 pounds of boost. Found that the wastegate itself was actually bad. It's kind of a older discontinued part and flange style, so that's why we had to put a whole down pipe and wastegate assembly on it, and we'll be putting that on pretty soon here.
Yeah, yep, that should be here yet this week.
All right, you can do this one.
All right, next up is, this is not an exciting one, but it's a factory vehicle, just letting everyone know that we still do OEM work also. We had a 2015 Equinox come in with a transfer case that decided to say bye-bye. There was pieces and fluid everywhere, but we went ahead and just got a GM replacement transfer case, got that installed, and got them up and running again. So again, we do OEM work. It's not all just fun stuff.
Wish it was. But. Next one, kind of a little different here, is Polaris Razor 170. I thought it was going to be a much larger vehicle when we got it, but turns out it's a little micro machine. It was a dyno rental to get the horsepower and torque curve because he was going to do some clutch tuning on his son's Polaris. Is kind of what it came down to. So wasn't super exciting, but we got what we needed to get done for him. He got the information he needed. Kind of moved on from there.
So. A 2016 SS sedan, it's one that was actually here a while back that we diagnosed and repaired a broken valve spring and bent valve on. Got him up and running, and he was super happy with that. And he drives the thing year round, and he actually ended up running into an issue with shocks next. He said it was bouncing and the ride wasn't very great, so we went ahead and got him some factory replacement Magneride shocks and struts, and we're just getting that buttoned up now, and that goes in for an alignment tomorrow. So
next one, again, not super exciting, but just showing you, what we can do and the services that we offer. Was a customer of the 2018 F-150. He was looking to have basically a tune on it, the auto start stop deleted, and then those 10 speeds have what they call a skip shift, where it'll shift like 2 to 4 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. I think another gear. And we could have done custom tuning on it, but another viable option is using a Diablo Sport handheld. You kind of get, a lot of the results you would get with custom tuning for a fraction of the cost. Not that I want to take myself out of the equation, but it's a good option for people to have.
Right.
And down the road, let's say the customer wants to put, larger wheels and tires on it, different gear ratios. He can go in there and set that up himself without coming back. So
correct. We also have a 2026 F-150 4x4 here. Very cool truck. It's actually optioned out, kind of old school, like a work truck. It's got the bench seat. It's got no carpeting, so it's got the rubber mats in it. But the customer decided that he wants to put a lowering kit in it. So we actually have a Ride Tech lowering kit that we're just starting the install today. So we'll have some footage on that moving forward. But it should be a pretty interesting truck. The next thing we got to do is talk him into putting a Whipple on it, and then it'll really be fun.
Yeah, it's a single cab short box, right?
Yep.
With steel wheels on it, and it's pretty cool.
Could be kind of a sleeper. Very neat.
Well, I think that's all we have, right? For updated cars and all the events. Thanks for watching Shop Talk 12. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Let us know if you have any questions. 262-692-9035, or our website is westbenddyno.com. Thanks.
Thanks.